butt look big in these? Welcome to this week's episode of Ask Jay. Thank you for joining us this week. As you could tell, this week's episode is a question in regards to loaded questions. Have you ever felt like you've been asked a question, so when you've walked into a room, they've asked you a question and you've gone, whoa, hang on a sec. Maybe I should just slowly step backwards and back away and back out of the room as quickly as possible without putting my foot in it. That leads into this week's question. This week's question is from Miss California, from a forum I answer a lot of questions to. And the question is, what is the correct answer to how much do you love me? As I was saying this before, this is called a loaded question. What have you been doing all day when the other person's come home and seen that you've had the day off because you decided to take a well-rested day off work, and they ask you a question like that and you know there's more to it than just the question? So be warned for tip number one, because this is a fundamental question that you need to, a fundamental tip you need to remember when it comes to loaded questions. And the tip is, this is not a question, it's a prompt disguised as a question. And you ask what that is? Okay, so what it is someone is asking a question of you when they really know the answer, and they are looking for you to give them a particular answer, either a particular answer or a particular array of answers, a small couple of answers that all are around what they're expecting from you. And if you answer outside that range of answers that they're expecting, it could turn into a bloodbath at the house of death. Because what they're doing is, there's a reason for them asking this question. They're looking for something and they're wanting to get that from you. And if they don't, oh my God. So you've got to be prepared and realize that it is a loaded question and know how to go about it. Tip number two is to ask yourself, where is it coming from? Usually when these questions get asked, they're digging for something. They want something from you. So you've got to ask, firstly, is it affecting the relationship? So is it, are they jokingly, if they occasionally say, how much do you love me? And it's, it's a lighthearted joke, just answer it. I love you more than the chocolate chip cookies in the world. It's fun, it's easy, it's light, doesn't matter. But if it seems to be something that they do on a constant basis, on a regular basis, you need to ask yourself, has it come just after maybe a disagreement or an argument? Have they been chatting to, sometimes you hear, they've chatted to their mum or their dad or something, and they feel a little, insecure and they're asking for it. Just work out where it's coming from and the reason behind it, because once you get to understand that, then you know what to do with it. Which leads to tip number three, which is another fundamental thing. I'm going to give you a doozy here with number three. And what you need to do is you need to learn what their love language is. And that sounds a little wishy-washy. Let me explain. The best question to understand what their love language is to sit there and ask them. And this sometimes I think is a good thing to even ask earlier on when in the relationship, maybe the first date or second date. Instead of saying, oh, what do you do for a living and what do you drive as a car and everything else and how much money you earn, what makes you feel loved? Now, when I say that, I mean, what is it that when it's done, you actually do feel loved? Because someone could say, I love you, 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 as much as one, and it means nothing these days. Words don't have the impact they used to years ago, because they get used so blatantly, loosely, that they don't have the impact. So when it happens, it's because they want to feel loved. So to feel loved, you need to ask, what makes you feel loved? Now, this can be things like, some people might like gifts. Some people might like, public displays of affection. I'm not a big fan of it, but some people need to feel that. It might need, just a little shoulder rub. It might be, randomly walk up behind them and give them a big hug and a kiss on the neck or the cheek or something. Maybe give them a little bit of goosebumps. When someone is saying to you, how much do you love me? And it's said on a regular basis or said more than normal, you've got to go, why are they feeling this way? Why do they need to ask this? And the reason being is they're not feeling loved. You know, you could say it 100 times, but they need to feel it. So to feel it, if you understand their love language, what it is to make them feel loved, then put it in your phone. If you want to remember this, guys and girls, doesn't matter who it is, guys probably need this more than women, but ask your partner how they feel loved and tell them how you feel loved. You know, some guys want to feel loved when they're just told that they've done a great job, you know, or, you know, they're a handsome looking fellow. And girls, they are very emotional beings. You know that, girls, that you need to feel, you know, those random acts of, you know, it's like random acts of kindness, but random acts of love in your relationship where you need that. So get that, understand it, remember it, put it in your phone, put it as a reminder at random times so you can just go up and do it randomly because they love that sort of thing. So let me go through the 3 tips. First, you've got to understand that it's not a question, but it's a prompt for an answer disguised as a question. Okay? 2, you've got to remember and find out where it's coming from. When does it happen and where does it come from? And once you've got that, you then know what to do, which is ask them how they feel, or what makes them feel loved. Okay, so once you get that, because that is a crucial, fundamental question you need to ask. If there's ever a question in a relationship to get to know someone, use that. That is your like bread and butter. You put that in your pocket and you keep that there, and you use that at times where they just don't even expect it. Okay, so to answer your question, Miss California, when they ask what the correct answer is to how much do you love me, if they only ask you occasionally, tell them, I love you more than the chocolate chip cookies in the world or the grains of sand on the planet or whatever you feel naturally, what you feel that you want to answer. But if they're asking a little bit more, get an understanding of why they're asking it and do it from there. Hopefully that has answered your question this week and helped everyone else that's watching as well. Thank you for watching. As always, if you've got a question you want to send in to me, Jay from Jayson Mair Coaching, your relationship coach. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself at the start. But thank you for watching. And if you want to send some emails in, send them through to Jay, J-A-Y, @jasonmair.com. And we'll answer them each week. Same bat time, same bat channel here on YouTube or Facebook. Thanks for watching wherever you are in the world. Again, we'll see you next time. Until then, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.